Everyone.
This meeting is being recorded.
So hope everyone's doing good today. Welcome. No worries if you have to drop off early, that's okay. So for today, we are finally out of the eclipses. So we actually get a new moon where we can manifest, which is really exciting. The new moon was on the 30th, but doesn't mean we can't still work with it today. So again, it was a new moon in Gemini. As far as the agenda for today, we're going to be doing our regular. So talking about the astrology a little bit. We'll talk about some action steps. I'll go over horoscopes, but they're not traditional like how we traditionally do our horoscopes. It's a little bit different. So today I put in just some areas for where you can use your horoscope to help you manifest. And then we'll do a card pull. I've got some tarot cards over here. We'll journal, and we have a little bit of a closing meditation. So what you're going to need is a pen, a pencil, something to write with, whatever you prefer, a journal or a piece of paper if you don't have a journal specific to these circles, any crystals that you want to work with, any sage or smudge spray or incense, anything like that. And then of course, any candles or anything that helps you set the mood. So go ahead and gather these things if you don't have them already. And while you gather them, I'm going to talk a little bit about what is a new moon and how do we work with it. So basically, this new moon is the new moon is the first lunar phase of a moon cycle. So it's when the sky is dark because the moon is between the earth and the sun. When the sun and the moon come together, you really have like the masculine and feminine energies that are being they're coming together. They're being created in union. And what we have with this is just a beautiful time for like new beginnings. You can consider it the start of a personal cycle. So if you like to live your life by the moon, this is a good time to start anything new, like projects. It's a good time to manifest. And if you've been coming to these circles for a while and have come to the last one, you know that we don't manifest during eclipses because the energy is just a little bit crazy. But we don't have an eclipse for this new moon like we did last time. So we get to manifest today. So all exciting things. Okay, we are going to dive into it. So hopefully everyone has other things gathered and they are here ready to go. But basically what we can expect from this new moon, and mind you, I am a Gemini, so I love Gemini new moons, but we can expect the themes, around this to kind of pop up, which are relationship healing, communication. Geminis love to talk, integration and partnership, as well as speaking our truth and embracing duality. So Gemini is the sign of the twins. Now is a really, really good time to use your voice because it's ruled by Mercury. Oh my gosh. Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and it's all about communication. So saying what needs to be said, making a point to get yourself heard. It's really a good time to communicate both what's on your mind and also what's in your heart, especially as it relates to your values, your beliefs, and any relationships. Gemini energy is air. It's an air sign. So it's a very airy energy. It's very active. It's a social sign. Again, the sign of the twins, right? So it really thrives through communication. Sometimes it can feel like very flirty or have this kind of light, like playful energy associated with it. But you might feel a little bit like extroverted from this new moon. You might feel it more on a mental level, so more in like your head. What I mean by this is you can expect like some new ideas, some downloads. Again, just being like more extroverted, or that drive to go out and do more in public, like being around lots of people. And this is definitely in contrast to the past new moons that we've had and the past moons that we've had in general, especially with Taurus being an earth sign, and then Scorpio, which was our last full moon, being a water sign. So kind of like deeper, almost like heavier emotions. Whereas this new moon in Gemini is just very like light and airy. Even though this moon is like probably inspiring us more. And then hopefully you guys have been feeling that kind of like that creative urge, or that urge to just like hit the ground running. I want to remind you guys that Mercury is still in retrograde, and Gemini, like I said before, is ruled by Mercury. So this is in effect until June 3rd. If you are trying to manifest things or want to, bring things like to fruition, I would say hold off until after June 3rd. It's not usually very good to start things during a retrograde, because it tends to have like complications, and especially with Mercury ruling like communication, you never know what things are going to get miscommunicated. So maybe hold off for a few days, but now's a really good time to just start like brainstorming and putting those ideas down on paper. During this new moon, it's a good time to reflect on where we get our information from and how much we actually take in. So this is something that I learned in my profession a lot is, are you actively listening, and are you balanced in your listening versus your speaking? So do you find yourself actually listening to people that are talking, or do you find yourself just waiting for them to stop so that you can butt in with your what you have to say? And there is that fine line, right? You don't want to always be quiet. You want to be able to express yourself, but you want to make sure that the people around you feel heard, and you want to feel heard as well yourself. So kind of keeping that in mind throughout this new moon. It's also a good time to rewrite our story. So who do you want to be, especially within relationships? It's a good time to get very clear on that. You can also put some focus on conscious communication. This will help with your connection to others, your relationships. It's really good to consciously communicate, right? Making sure that what you are trying to say is getting received that way. That's the big challenge. You might know what you want to say, but the person might not be interpreting it that way. So making sure everything's very clear. And then sometimes Gemini energy, because it is so airy in nature, can bring up anxiety. And if this is the case, if you feel like, the past couple of days have just been full of anxiety for you, this is a good time to, take a deep breath. Make sure you've got lots of room to really get out of your head into your body, whether that's through movement, breath work, meditation, whatever that is for you, whatever your vice is for that. It's really important that you make time for that during this time. And then again, Gemini is all about duality, which I absolutely love. It's the sign of the twins. So you've got, two parts to the whole. And what it reminds us is that it's okay to be a walking paradox. And I know from like my own experience, this has been something that I struggle with all the time. So it's not as simple as just being like, I'm a walking paradox. Great. Like it is what it is. You have to, allow yourself to be this. So what we mean by that is, you can be excited, but you can also be grieving. You can be strong, but you can also be scared. You can be nervous, but you can also be ready to take that next step. You can be really into science and facts and research, but also have a beautiful spiritual practice that might seem like they conflict, but is really just like the two parts of the whole. So all of these things, two opposite sides can really come together and be so beautiful. So this is one thing that I want us to really pay attention to, and we'll do some journaling about this as well. All right. So we are going to talk about the action steps for this new moon. And basically, these are just things that you can kind of do over the next few days to help you bring in this Gemini energy. So the first one is to be social. Go out there, connect with your friends, connect with family, maybe go to some networking events. Just put yourself out there so that you can meet other people. You never know what comes of meeting new people, and it can be really powerful human connection, especially since we've been in such an isolated state for the past few years with COVID. So making sure, within the realms of still being safe, but going out there, spending some time with other people, maybe making some new friends, or, doing something that you wouldn't necessarily normally do. Next is to learn something. Geminis are all about learning and higher knowledge, and it's just an essential like quality for Geminis, that like curiosity that never gets quenched. So spend some time learning, whether it's a new skill, maybe some interesting facts on a topic that you enjoy. One of my personal favorites is going on Disney Plus and watching really cool documentaries about like the Mayans and the Incas and things like that. Just really random, but really interesting. So go out and do something like that and share what you've learned with those around you. Maybe if they don't want you to, but if you can have some cool conversations with your friends or your family members, about what you've learned, this will just be able to really bring in that Gemini energy. And lastly is to do yoga. And in terms of this practice and doing yoga, it's not necessarily that you need to like physically, how do I want to say this? It doesn't necessarily have to be yoga, but I put yoga down because this is one thing that I know really helps me get out of my mind and into my body. If it's other types of exercise, that's great for you. If it's just simply like breath work or meditation, that's also great. But really spending some time to get yourself out of your mind and into your body. I find it's easiest through movement. Dance is also great as well. But yoga is just my personal favorite. So that's why I was a little bit more specific with that. Okay, so next, we are getting into the horoscopes. And like I said, it's not your traditional horoscopes. It's really, it answers the question, what should you manifest based on your horoscope? So you might want to take some notes for yourself with this, but basically check your sun sign, which is, most people know their sun sign, right? Like I said, I'm a Gemini. I was born within the Gemini range. But your rising sign is another one that you can check if you feel inclined to and you know it. If you don't know it, that's okay. You can always look it up and come prepared the next time we do one of these circles, which will be next month. But your rising sign will also give you kind of like a secondary area where you can manifest. So for Aries, you are going to be manifesting, or you will have the most success with manifesting around using your voice, teaching, communication in general, or writing. For Taurus, now is a really good time to manifest anything related to money, your self-esteem, maybe new income streams, or even just like your general worthiness. For Gemini, we've got authenticity, your intuition, new identity. So who do you want to be? Who are you and how do you want to show up in the world? For Cancer, we've got some healing or closure or even some relaxation that you can manifest on. Oops, there we go. For Leo, talking about community, technology, new friend groups. So, maybe you want to manifest like meeting a new friend or business partner or something like that, or joining a club that you really like. For Virgo, it's about your public image, your career, or your general purpose. So like, what are you here to do? Libra, all about adventure, learning, or new beliefs. So this can be literally going on a trip or just going to the library and learning something new, or learning a new skill, getting into a specific class, something like that. Scorpio, we've got manifestations around intimacy, letting go, rebirth, or just your general power, like owning who you are, will be really powerful right now. And then we've got Sagittarius, which if you manifest around relationship, love, or trust or connection, that will be really beneficial right now. For Capricorn, it's all about your self-care, your wellness, your general health, also the rituals that you do every day. So like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm trying to think. If you want to manifest around like quitting smoking or something like that, getting into healthier habits, we'll say, and then being of service. So how can you help those around you? Aquarius is about worthiness, creativity, and inner child healing or play. So if you've got any inner child wounds or areas where you feel like you can work on in terms of your creativity, this would be really great to manifest that right now. And lastly, we've got Pisces, which is all about home, family, and ancestral support. So maybe if you want to manifest a new home or a beautiful like remodel a part of your home, or maybe a new family member, things like that. So all of that will be great to manifest right now. All right, if anyone has any questions, feel free to post in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. But if not, we're going to go on to the tarot card pull. And just because I changed the slide doesn't mean you can't ask questions, because it's going to take me a second to get these cards out of the box. Okay. Nobody has questions. Then we've got, I'm using the Animal Spirit deck by, I think it's by Kim Krans. Let me just double check that. Yeah, by Kim Krans. And I love this deck because it's a untraditional take on tarot, and it uses animals. And I just think that it's really nice when we work with the moon to kind of ask that question of like, what animal should we be, like what animal spirit should we oh my gosh, should we be bringing into this new moon? Should we kind of use to guide us through this next moon cycle? If you're unfamiliar with tarot, it's nothing scary. It just acts as a mirror for what's going on in our lives. And when we ask questions such as one that I just said, like what kind of energy should we be bringing along with us during this moon cycle, it can give us some guidance or some clarity for what's going on. So I just shuffled. Boom. The card we got is the Black Egg. You guys can see that. This is one of the like mythical ones that's in this deck. There's only a few of them. So let me find it. Give me one sec. All right, the Black Egg. Speaking from an authentic voice, the truth. How fitting. The Black Egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbors only that which rings true. When this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in, the concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself? And what is true about the world? When the energy of the Black Egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, we gossip, or repeat stories to justify our subpar behavior. We might even try to convince ourselves that we have no inner truth at all. The energy of the Black Egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It is available at every moment, in every situation. It's the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. I love this card for the Gemini new moon so much because one, it talks all about communication, right? Speaking your truth, which is such a powerful Gemini property. And it also talks about the shadow side of Gemini. I don't know if there could be a more perfect card, honestly. But the shadow side of Gemini is like gossiping, saying the things that others want to hear, or repeating stories to justify our subpar behavior. This whole like sentence right here just describes the shadow side of Gemini. So really being able to, ask ourselves questions, having that curiosity, drawing ourselves in, getting lost in books, in the truth, in just being able to speak our speak our voice clearly. I love that. So that was a really beautiful card. All right, we are about to move on to journal prompts. Does anyone have any questions on that card? No, if not, that's okay. Okay, so go ahead and take out your journal. What we're gonna do is we've got 2 journal prompts. I'm actually gonna give you guys a few more minutes. Normally we do 5 and 5, but I think maybe I'll give you like 6 or 7 minutes for these, just because we haven't really been able to manifest in a while. So I want you guys to get some good manifestations down in your journal. So the first journal prompt, we'll do 6 minutes. And if you guys need more time, we can add more time at the end. So the first journal prompt is just to manifest. Write down what you want to manifest during this moon cycle. Try to focus on things that you feel like you would be able to do within a month. Sometimes we manifest, long term over the course of a year, and that's fine if you want to write down maybe like 1 or 2 long-term things, but try to write down at least 3 things that you would like to call in during this moon cycle, so the next month or so. And then also answer the question, what are 3 things that you're mentally curious about at the moment? So things that you maybe don't necessarily want to like outright manifest, but that you'd be interested in seeing kind of like show up in your life in different ways. Okay, so I'm going to give you 5 minutes or 6 minutes. That's what I said. And I'm going to mute myself so I can put my alarm on it and not kind of jolt you guys out of your mojo here. So go ahead and get started. Okay, go ahead and finish up with your last like sentence or two. Um, as you finish up, I'm going to start talking about the next prompt. So, this prompt is about duality. We talked about how Gemini is really like two sides of the same thing, right? So kind of those things that we might feel like are different but actually can be incorporated into one. So the prompts are answering the questions: where have you noticed duality in your life recently? And what conflicting parts of yourself do you want to embrace more of? How can you be both at once? So thinking about these prompts, again, I'll set the timer for another 6 minutes. But go ahead and journal whatever comes up for you as you read through these questions. You can go ahead and get started. Okay, go ahead and finish your last sentence or two. And while you're finishing up, if anyone would like to unmute themselves or put it in the chat to share, sometimes when we share our manifestations out loud, it can help increase their power to come to fruition. You can also share any areas where you feel like you've had some duality in your life. And of course, sharing is not required, but it is nice when people share. So if you'd like to go ahead and do so, I'll keep an eye on the chat. Let's see. My chat just disappeared. Hold on, guys. There we go. Okay. If no one wants to share, that's fine. We'll move on to the meditation. And if you were typing, please continue to type. Just put it in the chat. We can talk about it after the meditation if you would like. So for this meditation, we're just going to, it's going to be a guided meditation. We're going to talk a little bit about love and giving ourselves a nice loving embrace. So begin by getting yourself into a comfortable position. If you're seated, try to sit yourself upright, put your feet on the floor. If you're laying down, that's fine too. Laying on your back, keeping your arms by your sides, relaxing into whatever position you're in. As you begin to relax, take a few deep cleansing breaths. You can go in through your nose, out through your mouth. You can do this on your own 2 more times, in through your nose, out through your mouth. Allow the breath to travel throughout your body, quieting, calming, creating softness and gentleness with every inhale. Let this life breath help you to come home into your body. Settle, relax with each exhale. Feel the stresses of your day release as you breathe in and out. Now imagine that the color yellow is filling the room. Yellow is the color of Gemini, so that's why we're using it today. Breathe this beautiful yellow light into your heart space, allowing it to open your heart. Be aware now of your consciousness expanding, opening up, reaching all the way up to the spiritual realms. With each inhale, become aware of the energy of love that emanates from the universe and begin to align yourself with that energy. Feel it enter your body with each inhale, filling every cell with love. Maybe you choose to put your hand over your heart center, feeling that space expand. Imagine it expand and notice how it enfolds you, enfolds all the space around you in this beautiful yellow energy. Now, with focused effort, send this energy out to someone, or maybe multiple people, or maybe a pet, something that comes to mind. Maybe it's someone you feel needs just a little bit of extra love right now, or maybe it's someone who's hurt you in the past and you want to send some love and forgive them. Imagine it surrounding this person, wrapping them in an orb of loving energy. Now envision the planet as a whole, the Earth. Send this energy throughout the world. Imagine it surrounding and integrating into the heart of the planet, touching all the kingdoms of nature with this energy of powerful love. Imagine now that the love is again filling you, radiating throughout your entire body. Now see yourself and feel yourself walking among all those you meet, radiating this powerful love in your daily life. See this love manifest in the world through your radiation of it. Imagine it dispelling any illusions of separation between individuals, groups, nations. Watch as this love heals our planet. Now moving both hands to your heart center, bringing back your energy. We're going to start by taking 3 clearing breaths. So nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. One more time in through your nose, out through your mouth. Last deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. At the end of this exhale, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, gently open your eyes and come back to center. As you go forth for the rest of your day, the rest of this week, the rest of this moon cycle, bring this beautiful, loving energy with you to all the encounters that you have. The more social you are, the more love you have to give out and to bring into the world. Thank you so much for all of you that came here and participated and come to these circles. I really am so grateful for all of you for being here. So thank you.